Hello and welcome to this fireside with Anna Roy, Senior Advisor NITI Aayog and Mission Director of Women Entrepreneurship Platform on the role of women in tech and entrepreneurship fueling India's Techade. Anna Roy is a 1992 batch officer of the Indian Economic Service. She was a lecturer at Delhi University and has worked at TERI in the government. She's worked in the Ministry of Finance, Ministry of Civil Aviation, and NITI Aayog. At NITI Aayog, she heads the vertical dealing with data management and frontier technologies. She's led teams to frame seminal policy and strategy papers in emerging technology, including National Strategy for AI, Blockchain Strategy for India, Responsible AI, Digital Banks, and others. She is credited for ideation and steering the development of the National Data Analytics Portal, a flagship initiative of NITI to improve last mile dissemination of government data. And of course, she's also credited with the Women Entrepreneurship Platform that helps women realize their entrepreneurial potential. Ms. Roy, we're delighted to have you here with us.
Thank you, Miloni, for inviting me and giving me this opportunity. Thank you very much.
Ma'am, as per data by the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation, approximately 14% of the total entrepreneurs in India are women. And, when we look at absolute numbers, they stand at 8.05 million out of the total 8.5 million entrepreneurs. Now, we have these small numbers, and then added to it is the fact that most women-led enterprises are informal in nature and data says they have low survival rate. In this backdrop, and with your experience of being the mission director at WEP, could you outline what are the key challenges for women-led businesses and some of the policy gaps that exist?
Okay. Thank you. So, while I'm not an expert on the subject, I do not regard myself as an expert. What I'm trying to do is to create a ecosystem which enables women to realize their potential in the space of entrepreneurship by providing them the right information at the right time seamlessly. And I firmly believe that overcoming information asymmetry is one major aspect to empowering women to become better entrepreneurs. Having said that, what we have seen in our research is that the women led enterprises, A, are not sustainable. They do not get the continuum of support from establishing of the business to its sustenance and scaling up. They also are not really in sectors spread out, and they tend to be typical sectors like arts and handicrafts or food and beverages, etc. And you already spoke about their being largely in the informal sector. So one major reason for this, I feel, is that the problem that women face is how to deal with the problem of failure. Uh, while we have seen failure is part of any entrepreneurial journey, and it is a male or female, it should be gender agnostic. But for women to deal with failure, we have seen is much more difficult than for male-led enterprises. The reasons being, first, women still do not have that position in the society. If you see in rural areas, whether it is ownership of land or in urban areas, the dependence factor still is quite large. Second, information outreach is there is a lot of information gaps for in this space for everybody, but women face it more. They do not get that support, and then for them it is not something which is the done thing. This is they are venturing into new space. So once they fail, for them to come back is very difficult. And whatever research has happened, whatever we have done under WEP, under the aegis of WEP, We have seen that for women it is, okay, do it, experiment, but if you do not succeed, it's either marriage or falling back to a safe, quote unquote, a safe vocation. So I feel these are some of the reasons. Then, of course, there is this huge behavioral issue as well. So I feel this problem of dealing with failure could be one of the major reasons why women led enterprises, achieve and size still limited to a smaller segment. We don't see this happening at scale. So that is the one area which we are trying to address, either through various nudge initiatives, through providing them with necessary information, and through the network effect, where we are building communities so that women learn from each other. They also realize what are the flip sides of entrepreneurship, and they come better prepared. So while obviously in enterprise, any form of enterprise, you cannot rule out risk, but
Right.
by overcoming the information gap, you can make them more robust. So I would feel these are some reasons, and some some ways in which we can overcome those challenges.
Right. So basically overcoming the information asymmetry and helping women deal with failure, and also the network effect you said, of encouraging women to kind of continue on and, driving more women towards entrepreneurship. But, talk to us a little bit about the women entrepreneurship platform and how it is driving ecosystem shifts to strengthen women-led businesses. How's the needle shifted? And what's the feedback that you received from women business leaders on what they'd actually like help with?
So I would, if you have the time, I would like to go a bit anecdotal. The WEP was announced as a women entrepreneurship cell by the then CEO at the end of the Global Entrepreneurship Summit in 2017, in November 2017 to be exact. And he said that in his interaction with all the women entrepreneurs who had attended GS, he realized that there is lack of awareness amongst them about various initiatives which are available to support them in their journey. uh, and after he announced that, he said that I will be chairing it, I will be leading it. And since it was all very new for me, I undertook a series of stakeholder consultations. I also went to various, cities like Bangalore, Hyderabad, Mumbai, to meet people, to interact with them. And it was very surprising. In a city like Bangalore, I came across this young entrepreneur, and she got up and said, look, government must cut the taxes. And we asked that what was her enterprise. She was a startup. She was in a second year, and she had a CA, and she was paying tax. She was not aware about the benefits to a startup which the government had provided. So that made me realize a couple of things. A, the information is not available seamlessly, in the sense the consumption and discovery of the information is not there properly. The second thing I realized, that people are jumping into entrepreneurship without being uh, prepared. Now you need a CA, you need a lawyer, but you must have basic knowledge about the entire business model, what you want to do. And this typical thing about getting seed money from family or friends and then starting without being properly prepared is something which was a problem. Lastly, I also realized that while we have this network of incubation and accelerators, access is really difficult. If even for women in the metros, they came up and said, we do not really know, I am doing this, I want to do this, I don't know where to go. So then, instead of a women entrepreneurship cell, we converted into a women entrepreneurship platform. I realized we do not need another cell in the government. There are enough cells both in the government and outside of the government, we thought of bringing everybody together, remove the silos, and having all the initiatives which are on the ground at one place. Secondly, I also had the emerging technology vertical, as you yourself said in the introduction. I'm a great believer in technology, and also the potential that this technology has in overcoming access barriers. So my second task was I aimed at leveraging technology to provide this knowledge seamlessly to the recipient. So with that, we brought together this platform. The very first platform was built by my interns. Subsequently, I realized, it cannot be a government-led thing. We need the ecosystem players to come together. So we converted it into a public-private partnership. And today it is being developed, maintained, and run by ecosystem players. So if when you visit our platform, you will see that it is a partner-led initiative where we are showcasing government initiatives, we are mapping incubators and accelerators, we are also mapping the initiatives of the financial sector as well as non-government organizations. And through a smart matchmake on the platform, I can go on the platform. Based on my profile, I'll get a number of alerts about new schemes, new events. I will also get a lot of data which is aligned with my profile, and I can also put in my query, and get through the smart matchmake, get the necessary resources. Now this is still work in progress, because you will yourself know, content curation, and I'm not saying content creation, I'm in content curation. So, in a project funded by NITI Aayog, we have actually mapped more than 70 government schemes at one place, and mapped more than 400 state government schemes. And these we have coded and put on the platform, and they, through the smart matchmake, anybody sitting in any part of the country can find out for her enterprise what are the government schemes on which are available. In addition to that, we are also I can find out which is the incubator which can help solve my problem. And I can also, now we are in the process of uploading non government initiatives, so I can also reach out to, say, a UN led some initiative, or a World Bank led initiative, or a CSR corporate initiative. So this is what I'm trying to do. Secondly, we have developed a community page on the website, and in that community we are trying to ask women to interact with each other and build this women entrepreneurial community where they solve each other's problem, they address them, and through this community approach, build a robust entrepreneurial ecosystem. So this is how we are trying to overcome information asymmetry. All these online efforts, we are also have a calendar of offline efforts where we will be going to tier 2, tier 3 cities, spread the message, work with local administration as well as other organizations who are working in this space. And it is all a partner led initiative where we identify potential partners, we engage with them, and we work with them. So we do not have our own internal resources. It's all we are making connects between different organizations which earlier may not be talking to each other, but by aligning their individual efforts, they are able to scale up, reach a wider audience, and work in a more systematic manner. So that is in a nutshell what we are trying to do. And it is a work in progress, like the chatbot is being built, new features are being added so that we overcome the digital divide, make it a pan India with all content available in at least 13 Indic languages.
No, that's wonderful. And really you're leveraging partnerships to help women-led businesses and then help them scale and succeed. But could you talk to us a little bit about some of the impacts that it's had on the ground? Any success stories?
Yeah, certainly. So I would say we have really achieved scale when we launched the third version of the platform last year in October. Before that, while we were on the ground, but it was more ad hoc, and due to COVID, our efforts were, got a bit of a setback. We had to move all of our efforts to online interaction, and we have many testimonials where the during COVID, at least, what we did was we reached out to women who were working out of their homes, and we tried to give them orders for mask was something in demand, besides mask, various other things. So we reached out to corporates, and we made these connects through various other organizations who work with women, artisans and other women who were working out of their homes. That was one initiative. Second, what we did, because finance and compliance are very important aspects of any business, we have partners who are themselves women led startups. And they, that is the strength of WEP, where a startup comes forward and says, I will give back to the society. And they held many webinars, because at that time we were only restricted to online interaction. And we have these testimonials from women who said, I was into X area of enterprise. I did not know whether I should have a proprietorship, or what kind of enterprise I should have. And through WEP, I could get this direct input, and I then took up this form of entrepreneurship, form of company. I incorporated as I don't remember the details, but I think it was a section, it was a social impact organization for her. So then she said, I benefited from this advice, because I at that time did not know what kind of how I should, what shape should I give to my enterprise going forward for its scaling. And you will be surprised that after during COVID, she got this advice, she set it up, and it is a Kerala based enterprise. She grew at such a great pace that she went on to become one of our women transforming India awardees, which NITI Aayog organizes with UN, used to organize. And there she recounted this. So it wasn't as if we got it directly when she came for the awards. So there she recounted this, that this is the help I got. And similarly, many other women, for raising finance, they said we got help, because we make these connects. So I would say that, we only kind of scratched the surface till last year. Now we are really growing at a good pace. And in another 6 months or so, we will really have a huge story to say about the impact and how we have moved the needle.
One of the things when we speak with women entrepreneurs, women startups, something that's come up in our conversations is technology, and how that sometimes is a barrier for them when it comes to success. From your vantage, could you point out how women-led startups are able to embrace technology, and if not, where is the stumbling block?
We have divided our work into different verticals: access to finance, access to market, skilling, mentoring, like this. And here we are kind of, wherever they need digital support, we are making the connect. And most of the connect, whether it is for payment, our partners are coming up and imparting this, like soon we will be launching with a program for training women on digital marketing and various other aspects of digitalization in enterprises with Qualcomm. So Qualcomm has this thing, has these module, and we are working with Qualcomm and working with local administration and other extension agencies to take this module of training to tier 2, tier 3 city, semi-urban, rural areas, and deliver this and provide this training in the local language. That is what we are doing, and the same modules will be available in Indic languages on the platform as well. the other thing which we are trying to do, to reach out to women who may not be very tech savvy, though I think that is a misnomer. Today, if you see technology, use anybody, it's not related to how much education you have got or what strata you come from, because the technology is making your life simple. But in any case, we are trying to provide all this information in various Indic languages through IVRS, through chatbot, so that there is a ease of access to this information. So first, use of digitalization in a business enterprise, we are making the connects, giving them the training, making them comfortable so that they can adopt these practices, technology, to improve their enterprises. Second, we are also, these would come under skilling efforts, and we are doing it in very, very organized manner. NASSCOM is one of our partners. We are partnering with NASSCOM to provide this thing to FPOs and SHGs. We just kind of, we had a steering committee meeting on February 20, and in the steering committee, Devjani Ghosh is there. So she offered services of NASSCOM and all its skilling modules, and we also have SFCA with us. So all FPOs, now we are not only saying only women led, but we'll begin with women led FPOs, but we'll cover all FPOs for imparting training on digitalization, and also for SHG. So we are working, we are not trying to boil the ocean, but we are taking baby steps and hoping that it will have a domino effect and others will also kind of benefit from it. And through this demonstration effect, more and more people will join this, I would call it, revolution.
All right, and we wish you all the success with it. This is my last question to you, Ms. Roy. From your vantage, what are the challenges that you feel still need to be tackled? The resistances that need to be overcome to bring more women into entrepreneurship, for more women to embrace technology, to fuel what many are now calling as India's century.
So, I will again say that you do not need much of a nudge. All you need to do is make the connects, provide it at their doorstep, uh, and work with people who have the resources. We should not reinvent the wheel. We should see how we can collaborate, consolidate these efforts. Given the size and scale of the country, if everybody starts initiating their own program, then it becomes a problem. Like MSME, they have launched a number of initiatives for women entrepreneurs. They are also have now become members of WEP, and we, in all our future initiatives, MSME ministry will be our partner. So when we are planning a series of events during March, so wherever we will be going, MSME will be there, and we will be telling them about various offerings from MSME. NASSCOM will be there, so we will be telling them benefits and potential of the technology, and also how they can adopt the technology. And while all this happened very late, like before 2017, I never worked either in gender related issues or in entrepreneurship, but whatever limited experience I've got, I have seen that all you need to do is make these connects, provide them with the resources and the knowledge which they need in a more seamless manner, and then that is all the empowerment that they need. I'm not trying to belittle the behavioral challenges they may be facing, because you and I have not faced it. We
Right.
would not know, a woman who wants to step out, say in a tier 2 city, and wants to work, what challenges she will be facing. But they are so resilient, they are willing to face it. All they need is some hand holding, and that is what we are trying to provide to them.
All right, we wish you all the success in being able to provide that hand holding and more. And thank you so much for bringing so much effort so that, there are more women in entrepreneurship and more women can succeed. Thank you for all the work.
So, can I have the last word? I would
Absolutely.
want your organization also to partner us and use your platform to spread the message of what WEP is trying to do, so that we get more people, more women, register on the platform, and also potential partners to see that, okay, here is something where if I come, I will have a captive audience or a captive beneficiary class for my programs, and they come and become our partners. So for both registered users and prospective partners, I would request you to use your platform to spread this message.
And we'll do our best to do so. Anna Roy, thank you so very much for sharing your thoughts and your time today with us.
Thank you very much for having me here.